Miss Pickles Gaming. It's best you start believing in ghost stories. You're in one.
Hey, Mark here with Miss Pickles Gaming. Today's video, we're going to be at the Darklight Catacombs, and I'm going to show you how to get to the Darklight Catacombs. And there are multiple sites of graces along the way, so you might want to watch it first and then follow along, because you might not want to start from the very beginning. And the beginning of this one is going to be at the Castle Watering Hole Site of Grace. There we are. Sorry for the delay. And we're going to head out from here. Just follow along. There is a furnace golem out here that if you haven't taken care of, he will rear his fiery head at you. So just kind of hug the left-hand side here, and he should leave you alone. With hugging the left-hand side, we're going to be running into the mountain here, and right away we're going to get our first site of grace, which is the Recluses River Upstream Site of Grace. I'll show it to you on the map here. That's the golem trying to catch up with us. So here we are at the Recluses River Upstream, and we're going to keep heading downstream basically. There are a few places here to jump. There's only two, I believe. That's your second one. And right up here where the valley or crevasse is a little narrow, we're going to want to hop over. Don't hang around, because we're in the area with the flies, the giant flies. And we don't really want to mess with them too much. So once we start getting down here, there's quite a bit of parkouring, just jumping down. You're going to want to be on Torrent. He is essential for this. Well, maybe not essential, but certainly makes your life a lot easier. If you see that you can't go down, start heading down the hill again until you can start jumping down. Like I said, we don't want to mess with these guys if we can avoid it. There's some pretty good drops we got going on here. And there's flies everywhere. So just keep going down wherever you can find. I'm not saying you have to follow this path exact. I'm sure there are multiple ways of getting down here. This is just the one that I chose. Sorry about that, my light went off. So we're going to cross over right there, and we're going to be heading in a north direction until we see these lights, and here we are at the Darklight Catacombs. So it wasn't that bad. You just have to do some jumping. There we go, get the light back on. This is kind of a darker catacomb, a dark light. We can turn the lights on and off. That's where they get the name. Hopefully, we're just going to bypass most of that. We'll keep our light on, and it should be plenty. Take the lift down here and start heading out. There is a site of grace here. I highly recommend you grabbing it, because there are some things we got to deal with. There it is on the map where we are. All right. So, of course, like almost every catacomb that I start off with the last weapon that I had in my hand. I don't really think about it, and it's probably not the right weapon, which is the case here. So we got these jumping imps, and I got Mesmer's Spear against two of them. I mean, it'll get the job done, but there are certainly better ways of doing this. All right, let's get back on the path. I'm also using some weapons from Shadow of the Erdtree. I just enjoy them too much to not use them, such as the Light of Milika. Great for this kind of thing. Clears out a pretty good area. If there's multiple imps, it's done. Here is the first shortcut I'm going to show you. Most people will have you go to the left, hop down to this little area. The first ledge has a chest. We're bypassing that and going down to the second level. This just saved us quite a bit of running around. So we go downhill here. And we're going to send our lift back up. I previously died in here. So this one's a pretty long lift, so don't get impatient. It is on its way. There we go. So far this has been an easy trek. There's not a whole bunch of enemies we're going to have to fight, but since this is my second run through here, one of the imps becomes a giant imp on the second run through. So hopefully you can get it done on the first run through. There's our Stake of Marika, so we'll certainly stand by that for a second. Here, this is where I got a little confused last time. But the basic path is straightforward. Don't go to the left. There is an imp down here in the darkness. You can target him and use a ranged weapon. I'm using the multi-layers Rings of Light, which he moves out of it. So we'll have to kill him again. And I have Lita's sword right there. When you get down here, just head down the stairs to the left. Inside of here, we're going to find another imp in the corner. And we continue on. Down here there will be another imp, but he came up to find me. Again, there are better weapons for this. I'm just using what's fun. There are a couple imps down here. What I like doing is aggravating them or aggro them and have them come up the ladder. There he is, first one. Throw a hefty flame pot at him. As he's coming up the stairs, I'll use Mohg's Sacred Spear and drain all the blood out of him. One down. They hang out so close to the edge here that it's hard to get them, but I got this one to come up anyways. Now there is a sorcerer knight up here. Make sure that you are buffed up, have a shield, whatever is comfortable for you. I like using Mohg's spear here also. Sprint down and get underneath them, and the spear will go through the ceiling here and more than take care of the enemy. But since I've lost my light, I get a little turned around, and there's another hopping imp here. So I'm going to try and find the exit here and go back and get my light on where I have time. There we go. And I think, yeah, he follows me back up. All right, he's taken care of. Let's move on. Ultimately, at the end of this catacomb is the entrance to the Abysmal Woods. The boss is the final guardian of the Abysmal Woods, and that's where we head out to get some other rewards out there. Not sure why I did that during the game, but I did. Probably didn't mean to. Okay, we're going to keep going down. We're going to make sure we have the right thing, make sure the light is fully charged. Buff up just a little. And remember when I said there's a giant imp? This is him. And my goal here is just to run to get underneath him. He's a big mouth imp that throws fire. Once you get underneath him, you're fairly safe. Now, I've been through this catacomb a couple times, and I do get turned around almost every time. And the path is simple, but I forget it when I get there because there are 4 different ways of going here. That's the wrong way. The way we came in is the wrong way. I'll realize it in a second here. Dead end. Up here and to the right is how we came in. We want to go this way and down the stairs. Once we get down, we're going to just head to the right. Which is going to put us really close here to the boss room. Like I said. Now in this one here, I am going to pull in a summons. I'm going to pull in the Great Horned Warrior summons. The guy is just a beast, a tank, and he'll start fighting right away. One of the problems I have with the Mimic is, yeah, the Mimic is the best. Don't get me wrong, I'm not bad-mouthing having a Mimic. But a lot of times, at least with my character, the Mimic will take time to decide whether it wants to get involved or not. And I'm going to need help almost right away here. I have done this boss by myself, and if you get to the boss before he gets his summons out, you can take care of him pretty quickly. But if his magic and everything else slows you down and he has time to get his summons out, that's where you're going to have problems. So that's the magic he sends at you. And the swirling magic there. So here we are, round 2. And I decide to drop my summons a little bit later in this boss fight. Also a big mistake. He has the ability to transport around. Now we have to locate him again. And he has released his summons that we have to somehow ignore and get back to him. So there you have it. Died twice. Round 3 will be a little different. I went to the left, hid behind a tombstone, and drop my summons. But immediately I have to get out of there. I've got my boss targeted here. I know I'm doing a lot of rolling, but I'm trying to avoid his magic. So I took a chunk out of him. Unfortunately, he does get his summons off. So I do a good job avoiding them. Luckily, my Horned Warrior is just going to town on this boss. And he's not wavering. Wherever the boss transports to, I just look at where my Horned Warrior is, and that's where I need to go. Basically, this is about as sloppy of a job of winning a boss fight as humanly possible. But my guy does it. So this is the entrance to the Abysmal Woods, just right outside there. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video. Make sure to grab the Site of Grace here. Oh, show it on the map.
Miss Pickles Gaming. Pickles gone wild.
Hey, where are you going? You watched the video and obviously enjoyed it, so you need to go back and click the subscribe button. I mean, come on now. You were raised better than this. You know, it doesn't cost anything. You know, why wouldn't you?
And that's how she wrote.